going on, everybody? It's me again, Justin, man. Listen, I feel compelled to drop these videos because of the seriousness of what we're going through right now. And so, like, really, what I want to speak about today is something I've lived. You know, I feel my personal experiences can definitely help, you know, with the situation we're facing as a nation. So let's talk about this quarantine, right? Let's say it gets that far. Let's say, you know, you got to actually stay inside your house 2 to 4 weeks and all that other jazz, right? Get some gas. But so let's look at it like this. I was once incarcerated for 3 years. 3 years every single day. So when you start breaking it down, I kind of got like a little bit of expertise on quarantine. A little bit. Just a little bit. Why I say that? Because quarantine is no more than controlled movement, right? So if it goes the way it's, if quarantine is how people try to say it is, you can't leave your homes, it's no more like being in a cell, you know, in a pod in the penitentiary. So the only problem is this, like, you don't really understand what to buy. You're not understanding how to eat. You're really acting like you're going to die, when in all actuality, you know, this is definitely not the case. So let's look at it like this. Food. So I was out here at Costco's. I see people just buying a whole plethora of food. And in all actuality, it's like you're buying food to stock up, which is important. However, you're being greedy, right? Like, I saw a man with a crazy cart full of milk. Now, in his defense, he could be buying it for other people who can't make it. That's great. I hope he is. But if you're buying all this food for 4 weeks, you have to start asking yourself, number one, why am I buying this food? Like I said, I'm not saying to stock up, but let's look at it like this. Now, there are studies out there that say that the human body should only be eating 1 meal a day. We can go with that. However, when you really break it down, you know, you could survive off 1 meal a day with a family, 1 big meal a day with a family if you're quarantined, if you start breaking up your meals. So we can go with the Ayurvedic. Please, if I say this incorrectly, just correct me in the comments like people love to do anyway. But they have cycles of when you should eat your biggest meal. So from like 6 to 10 a.m. is where you should have like a light meal. So picture this. You know, you got frozen fruits with some milk. You make you a smoothie. You know, you're able to last a bit. And that's good. You know, you might even, heck, you ain't going nowhere. So you might wake up around, 8 o'clock anyway. So let's really break this thing down. So you might wake up around 8 o'clock. You have you a light meal. You don't need nothing crazy. Get you a light meal. And then, you know, take advantage of that. All right, so bam, you have your little snacks here and there. So the whole purpose of this talk is here to really try to get you to understand that this quarantine thing can be broken down systematically, mathematically, in a very methodical way. So then you got lunch. Lunch is where your biggest meal is. So you might have you some carbs, some plants. If you eat meat, you get you some meat. If you don't eat meat, have you some beans. You know, have you this big meal. But remember, you're not going nowhere. So you're not really burning up all the energy that you think you're burning up today. Like, when you're in quarantine, when you're in the house, you will not be burning up that much energy. You're not going nowhere. Remember that. Please remember that. You're not going nowhere. Here comes dinner. A light dinner. You know, even if you need the food. You might not even need the food. You might not need a heavy meal. And this process goes on for 28, 30 days, maybe even longer, right? But then here's another thing to realize when you're in this quarantine. There might be other people who might not have nothing, that if you built the correct relationship with them, you can share with them, or vice versa. Like, this doesn't have to be this crazy thing. But here's another situation why other people look at it so crazy. You don't know what your mind is going to be going through in this process. Like today, you don't know who that person is going to be in quarantine. It's like when I had gone to prison. The day I go into prison, I didn't know who I was going to be. However, what does happen is this, and it's like walking into a prison cell. You know, if you ever been in solitary confinement in prison, you go in there, you don't know what's going to happen. However, as the hours progress, your brain will start picking up patterns. You'll be able to look at things. All right, you're like, I can put this here, I can put that here. You leave enough holes in this story for it to be fulfilled, because like that's just how life is. However, you will grow a routine, you will grow a pattern. Hell, you might read more books, you might play Scrabble, you might play cards, you know, you'll do something. You will find a way to pass by that time. Your brain will innately find that way. However, you have to understand right here, right now, watching this video, there is no need to panic. You just never had the tools needed to survive a quarantine until right now. So, my name is Justin Redrick, owner of Bitcoin Vegan Transformational Services. We work with underappreciated business women to exponentially accelerate their productivity towards their goal. Now, what I'd love for you to do in a very expeditious fashion is go to signup.bitcoinvegan.com to have more content delivered to you like this. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Peace. Or is it stopping?